Welcome back to the Making Events Awesome live stream. Today, I wanted to talk about how do we get more people at our events. Been speaking with a few people. The lovely Fab had a comment out there on LinkedIn, and we had a bit of a chat about how some of the larger events are not getting the numbers they used to. They're just, for whatever reason, they're not coming. I was talking to a couple of conference organizer people talking about how some of the medium-sized events, like events that have about 100 to 150 people, they're just not getting them. They're getting that 50 to 70 instead. And I think part of it is that now, it seems to, we say it every single time, now more than ever, people are busy and can't get to events. But I think we've also had the joy of online sessions, be they meetings or events or whatever, where you can quickly jump online, do your thing for the hour, 2 hours, and then you're done, versus schlepping to the big event and having to sit through a day or two when you only really want the key bits. So I wanted to talk about how we can get more people at our events. So for those of you who don't know, Warwick Merry is the name. Events and Making Events Awesome is the game. If you know people in the events industry who might be interested, share this with them. Let them know. If you really want to, head on over to the Making Events Awesome Facebook group. Love to have your conversation there. Some interesting chats going on. Anyway, talking about events. So here's what's happening. Some of the big events, people are a little bit scared still. There's a whole lot of conversation about here in Australia having to have a fourth shot. There's talk about a new merger of the strain between Delta and Omicron. And so people are just like, I'm not sure if I'm ready to go face to face. Add to that and I'm flat out. So getting there is really hard. And I like the idea of just being able to join. So my thing is we need to change our strategy. We need to change our strategy for events. It used to be you'd have a big event and that would be the event. And you'd spend the year getting ready for it. You get a lot of people sort of getting excited about the event. You do a whole lot of planning. You'd have the event and afterwards, you'd put out a bit of social media about how good it was. And then you get ready for the next year's event. We have to change. I think what virtual events allow us to do is, and I hate to use the word, but be more agile. So let's talk about that in terms of the strategy. So what you can do is say, we're going to have our major event. It may not be, because the other thing also with virtual events, people now don't book until the really last minute. Like it used to be bad like a month before, but now we're talking days before, if not on the day. So you've got to have a great deal of faith in terms of your break-even point. So, there's Facebook user has said hello. Can I get anyone who's joining me on Facebook? Can I get you to go to this particular site? Because what that'll do is that will allow you to show me who you are. That would make my life easier, so I can give you the credit to which you deserve. Could be Big Dave, because he made that comment last time. So what it means is with our big events, we can focus on our big events and get them happening and have our virtual events as lead ups. So we can have those powerful half hour of power, 45-minute short sessions where we can really get in there and say, hey, here's one of the speakers who's going to be going more detail later on. Here's a topic that's been talked about in our group, our community right now. So we wanted to get an expert to come and say a few words and get some thoughts. So you're getting people excited about what's coming for the big event versus them going, oh yeah, that big event's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Oh, I'm too busy, I can't go. So you're building the desire before it happens. And then afterwards have some more events that reflect back on, here's some stuff that come out of the event. Here were some of the key points that some of the key speakers made. This is the issues we're all facing at the moment. How can we get better at this? So look at how do we use the face-to-face and the virtual events in harmony together and get one to support the other and then the face-to-face to support the virtual. Again, what you're doing is building that community. Now, for my poor event organizers and event professionals and conference organizers, it does mean more work for you because it means you're going to have this constant going of events. But the joy with some of the online events is they don't have to be super mega flash. You can do it as a Zoom. You can use AirMeet. You can use tools like Wonder and other things that have a bit of networking involved as well. And without a massive amount of overheads, without a massive amount of costs. And what it means is you'll get a lot of people who have more flexibility to come along to some of these events. So what I'd have you do, instead of looking at just the big events, looking how can I stage some leading events to get people engaged as part of it. What are some of the smaller things that I can do? How can I piggyback the two together? Now, again, with the larger events, you can, incorporate a bit of hybrid there. As many of you know, I'm not a huge fan of hybrid. If it works well, it's great, but you've got to have a lot of money to make it work well. So why not try this as a starter? If your main event's usually that 300, 400 people, why not try a few of these lead-in events? 2, 3, maybe one a quarter, maybe one every 4 or 5 months. There's no reason why you can't do something as a lead up to the big event. All right, just wanted to throw that tip out there. Big thanks to Fab for raising that conversation point, because it is happening out there. A lot of our executives and attendees to our events are saying, I'm too busy, it's too much. And so let's look at how can we do it differently? How can we take advantage of the mass change we've had over the last couple of years, and reevaluate the strategy around our events, and looking at how do we do this smarter and better, and look at an overall arc, not just the actual event. Hope that's been of some value. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm going to be back again next 9 a.m. next Thursday, 9 a.m. Melbourne time next Thursday. Love to have your company. Come and join us. Meanwhile, also over in our Making Events Awesome Facebook group, we've got some fun stuff happening there. So join in and come and say hello. All right, I've been Warwick Merry. Thanks so much for your company. I look forward to seeing you again next time. End of stream dance so we don't get cut off.